have a dream.
We choose to go to the moon.
There's cities to be built, and there's a world to be helped.
I regard myself as a soldier.
We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight
From where the zipper ends, round under my, back to my bunghole, down where your nuts hang.
I guess all of you would say this about your mother.
All right,
Welcome
so
to History Squirt. No.
oh, we're starting again, aren't we?
We're starting again. Welcome to History Squirt. I'm Ron Thompson.
And I'm Jason.
And welcome to part 2 of what? King John? Is that what we're going
King
to call
John,
the
yeah.
episode?
Yep. King John, the evil king.
King John the First.
He's the first. He's the only John because they don't have another John because he's so bad.
Oh.
He gets history doesn't give it like I wouldn't say as we've heard so far in part 1. If you've heard it, listeners, he's not the greatest guy. Wouldn't say he's a great king, would you?
I don't mind him.
You don't mind him?
No. I think he's alright as far as they go. I feel like there's been, worse ones.
He murdered his nephew.
Yeah, but he doesn't seem to have a bad heart. I don't know, like you haven't painted him out to be like villainous. He just is.
Well, it sort of is. That's what I mean. Like, he was given a bad rap and he's done all these bad things, but it's like everyone's doing bad things. His whole family's doing, like he said about the trauma from his father. It's like they're all doing bad things.
Pretty much every prince, kills his father and probably a sibling.
Yeah.
So he doesn't seem any worse than anyone else. It seems like he's possibly a bad leader.
Yes. He's not great. As we were talking, as we left last episode, we just got into a giant fight with the Pope. Alright, so they're arguing over the rights and responsibilities of the church within England.
And this is well before the Church of England.
Yes.
So but I guess you said they're fighting over who was going to be the Archbishop. So we do have an Bishop of Canterbury.
That's the one. So we have to decide. So we now are up for who is going to be the Archbishop of Canterbury. Now, John wanted a guy called also John. We'll call him John de Grey. But the Pope insisted that someone named Stephen Langton be the Archbishop. And
Never heard of him.
John refused. Okay? And refused to let him into the country. And then started seizing papal possessions. Okay?
What are the papal possessions?
Well,
Young
like
boys?
church land and all that sort of stuff.
All the young boys are mine now.
All the young boys have got stockpiles in sheds around the country are being confiscated by John. So, an edict is placed on England in 1208, prohibiting the clergy from conducting religious services with the exception of the baptisms for the young and confessions for the dying.
Okay, so they're going to have baptisms so they don't go to hell.
Yeah, so
and again, I guess confessions for the dying, so they don't go to hell.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's it.
But everything else, so we're sort of in a bit of a religious trade war, I guess you could describe it. Like, there's being sanctions put on the church from Rome. And
Have the church put like an embargo on, exporting holy water?
Yes. So they wouldn't be, like, they're not sending them anything. They're now just, like... Well, the thing is, the people who actually agree to do this are the people who lose their land. So it's like, are you performing it? It's like, are you performing services? It's like, no, the Pope said no. Okay, I'm taking all your land. Go away. Perform the service or I'm taking all your shit. He actually did arrest illicit concubines of many of the clerics of the time. I left that in there for you. You like that one? He did confiscate. Yeah, he's confiscating their whores. No, John is confiscating the whores of the clergy. So the clergy have got a few. They shouldn't have them.
Have whores.
They shouldn't have whores, should they?
I like it how he's confiscating them. That's like he's just going to keep them in my desk drawer.
Well, he arrested them,
but they're mine now.
He arrested.
Like he's not discarding them. It's like these are good whores.
These are very good whores.
These are good concubines. I can't let them go to waste.
Yeah.
I'll keep them in the fridge for later.
So the Pope eventually threatened excommunication from John. But John didn't seem to care, and the king did not appear worried about the whole situation. So then the Pope just excommunicated him.
He's pretty zen. Doesn't seem to worry about, like, his, killing his dad, killing his nephew. Doesn't seem to worry, when his...
He's not a very religious man, John.
He's been reading meditations. He's
not... But no one seemed to care, because the Pope was excommunicating people all over the place. The Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire was currently being excommunicated. The Count of Toulouse was also currently excommunicated, so people getting excommunicated all over the place.
Yeah, no one cares.
No one cares. So John doesn't really care. But he then obviously starts to take more and more shit from the church. So it turns out that he starts taking around 14% of the church's yearly income.
14
into his
or
own
40?
14.
It's an odd number.
It is an odd number. I know, but he's just taken 14%. So he was planning to then invade France again. And it turns out he doesn't have much money. So he's still trying to raise all this money that he raised from the church. But the barons aren't really keen to go to war. So he has to postpone his plans. He then becomes worried about a French invasion coming from Philip. Because John has now been requested by the Pope to invade England and take him out. So the Pope's now requested that the French king invade England. The Pope's going to help him invade England, give him men, money, lots of stuff, to take John out.
It's sort of like this whole story is sort of like a bad drama. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen Have you ever seen Sons of Anarchy?
I have.
Oh man! And then by like season 4 or something, or season 5, you're like, it's fucking Clay every episode. Just fucking kill the dude. This is what this is kind of like. Like, it's Philip, it's fucking Richard.
It's all of them.
Seem very reticent to commit, murder against these people, like these continuous assailants.
Yeah, I don't know. So eventually they decide to make a deal. Pope and John make a deal. I know you got shitty in one of our last episodes that I didn't write down the deal, so I got the deal for you this time, right? Alright, I know you got the shits about that last time. You were very shitty about what was the deal. I was like, I don't know, I didn't really care. It was just a deal. You're like, no, what was in the deal? Alright, so I've got what's in the deal for
important.
you. Right? Okay, so John offered to surrender the Kingdom of England to the papacy for feudal service, along with 1,000 marks of all the profits that he'd made from the church. So he agreed to give back the church.
Service?
That he's under the Pope's control.
Okay. But he's still the king.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And he pays back all the money, which is apparently 1,000 marks. But then he just didn't make the payments and no one seemed to care. He paid 1/3 of it, sorry. He paid 1/3 of it. The last 2/3, no one seemed to care and everyone just forgot about it and we're all cool. The Pope then immediately turns on the King of France, demanding that he stop trying to invade England.
Oh. I never told you to do that.
Yeah. Basically, I never told you to do that. What are you talking about? And Philip went, yeah, okay, we'll have peace with England. All right.
I don't like this Pope. I feel like I've liked a lot of people in this story. I don't like this Pope character. He seems duplicitous, two-faced.
He's a bit dodgy. Yeah.
I don't like him.
But so there's a lot of tensions now between John and his barons. All right. It's been growing for years. Too much taxes. All these invasions of all this battling with France, and the coffers are quite
run the
low.
kingdom into the ground.
Yeah. So there's a plot to try and kill him in 1212, where the plan seems to be that they were just going to try and leave him in Wales somewhere, but it doesn't work out. I thought that was a strange plan.
Just dropped him off in the car.
Well, no.
Just left him.
Well, yeah, I think it was kind of like, what we're going to do is we're going to ride with him over into Wales, and then at night we're all just going to secretly sneak away, leave him there, and then someone will just kill him or capture him.
Works for naughty children.
The
Leave him on the highway.
Welsh will hate him, so it'd be really good if, like, you know, if one of them catches him, they're probably going to torture him and kill him. So that was one of the Baron's plans, but it was obviously uncovered, and he was able to survive.
Fucking terrible plan. This is worse than, because I think we talked about this before, like exile. Like they always exile them, and they always come back. And it's just like, God, it's just fucking kill the dude.
Just you're a pro, just kill everybody, and
it seems easier.
There's a lot of people who generally do just like exile and just live out their days forever. Like people do that. It's not like so like no one. It's like whenever they get exiled, they always come back. Not always. A lot of them just go away. But yeah, a lot come back too.
I think if you give them enough to do, you give them some like painting supplies, some concubines, that sort of stuff. They're probably happy to stay.
I also think like
on the island.
Right, but if you're in the Russian roulette king game where you're fighting battles and wars every couple of years, right? You probably don't want to, like, when you capture the enemy leader, like, torture and murder them.
Yeah.
Because if you set that precedent, obviously the next king that conquers you is going to murder and do that to you and your family. So
I thought about, like, losing the, following that they have, because they wouldn't like to see their leader murdered. But that's a good point. Yeah, they're trying to set it up for the future.
You don't want to be
they're not murdered.
Yeah, you want it to be like, well, we're chivalry and knights and all that stuff. We don't kill each other. We ransom each other off for large amounts of money. It's like, okay, that seems like good. We exile each other. We don't murder each other's families and all that sort of stuff. That's
gentlemanly.
We don't want to set that precedent because eventually one day you're going to lose.
Yeah, that's like funny. Like, so, later on when they had gunpowder and muskets and that sort of stuff. So like the pistol, whatever it was, like 20 pistols at 20 paces. Like you could only challenge someone if you were like a noble, and the other person had to be a noble. Which is kind of crazy. It's just like you've got to be a noble to die honorably. It's just such like a weird concept because there was a philosopher, I can't remember who it was. He really wanted to be a noble, or he thought, because he was sort of so intellectually superior to a lot of the other people at the time, he kept challenging this guy. And the guy was like, dude, I'm not gonna shoot you or whatever. You're not a noble. You just beat the shit out of him. I can't remember who it was. Anyway.
Yes, it was very much classes is a big thing right now. Alright, so in 1214, guess what he's decided to do? Ron, you'll never guess.
He's going to invade France.
We're going back to invade France. Right. He wants Normandy back. So he's going back to invade France.
Must be such a good beach. That beach must be fucking so good. Nudist beach.
But while he's there, his barons refuse to provide military service. They refuse to advance when ordered, and that forced him to then pay Philip compensation to let his army leave.
Yeah, tail between his legs.
So it's not great. Within a few months, rebel barons in the north and the east of England were organising a resistance to his rule. So his kingdom's now fallen apart on him. Barons are rising up. He held a council in 1215 to discuss potential reforms for the government, but it seems as though he was playing for time.
Really needs his mum, but I guess she's probably not around by this point.
I think she's still alive. She lives quite long. I think she outlives him. I don't know. We'll see how far our story goes. She might come back up. But Mummy, I'm pretty sure, is still alive. He sends letters. Guess who's supporting him now? The Pope is supporting him. And the Pope has sent letters supporting John as the rightful king of England.
Letters.
Yes. He sends letters.
Doesn't seem very helpful.
Not really, is it? So John also announces that he's going to go on a crusade as well. Okay. So this seems to be some weird political move. Okay, so
garner favor.
Well, not so much garner favor, but because I went down a rabbit hole with this one too. So because he intends to crusade in the Holy Land, he's then given special protection under church law that allows, like, you know, you're not allowed to attack the lands of a person on crusade that's unholy, and you will
sacrilege. Yeah,
it's sacrilege. The Pope will excommunicate you for that.
But no one gives a shit about that.
People still
went
care.
Over that.
People still care. Well, he eventually agreed to, like, give it back and give all the money back, so he obviously cared a little bit. I don't think it's so much he cares. It's more like, well, everybody else cares that you're excommunicated, and it's like, you're a bad guy. The church is just saying you're a bad guy, you're excommunicated all the time. It's like the only place you get news and entertainment from. Going to church on Sunday. But guess what? The letters don't help. So they grouped in Northampton and renounced their feudal ties to John. Yep. What?
I said maybe the Pope was sending, like, glitter bombs. It's where you just, like, fill an envelope with glitter and then it sort of explodes. And so they were just confused. They didn't even fucking know where it came from. Okay, letters don't work.
Letters don't work. Yeah, letters don't work. They group in Northampton and renounce their feudal ties to John. So they go, you're not our king anymore. And they proclaim themselves an army of God and march on London.
Okay, so he never actually went on this crusade. He just said he was going to.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's decided to say that he's going to go on a crusade to try and get himself political protection. But yes, that hasn't worked. Like I said, the people don't care. Or they just saw through his, like, ruse. The rebels reached London and attracted defectors. People just started joining this army. And John was forced to sign a peace agreement. This peace agreement was named the Magna Carta.
Out of that's the start of, like, the British Constitution.
It is the start of the British Constitution. I should have, like, put more, like, can you do it, like, dum dum dum, like, after that? It proposes a peace named the Magna Carta.
You want it to be like dun dun dun. But that's, like, really like when a villain arrives. It's not really.
It could be. This could be a villain.
I mean, certain people would argue that the UK laws are villainous.
How dare these laws start offering, you know, rights to free men and this sort of stuff? Like, that's outrageous. So quick background of Magna Carta. Like you said, it's Canada's the basis of, like, English law. Mm-hmm. But it's a very dodgy document.
Well, without it, we wouldn't have Magna Carta Holy Grail, the Jay-Z Kanye record.
No, we wouldn't. Does Magna Carta actually relate to that, does it?
It's just what the album's called.
Is it?
It's just called Magna Carta Holy Grail.
Do you know anything about the Magna Carta?
It's a great album.
Do you know anything that's in it?
No, not really. I think I've heard something about how the laws in the UK are, like, super confusing and stuff because they don't, like, separate out the content. I think they've, like, been building on it for, like, hundreds of years. So apparently, like, everything's, like, really, really confusing and, like, interlinked and it's, like, kind of hard to change and understand. I don't know.
Yeah, I watched a stupid YouTube video of a guy that's like, I'm going to break 10 ridiculous laws. And it was like, you know, you're not allowed to walk a cow down the street whilst drinking a beer. And it's like, this law was, you know, introduced in the 1820s. You know, and it's like, but no one's enforced it for 150 years, but no one bothered to take it out of the law. So it's still just sitting there somewhere as like a law that no one bothered to deal with.
Yeah, there's heaps of stuff in there like that. Like I think taxis have to have like a bale of hay in the boot or something like that. Or they meant to. You can like I think you're like allowed to shoot in Ireland or something. You're like allowed to shoot an Englishman with a bow and arrow or something if they're like somewhere specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff.
So yeah, but this wasn't there. So the reason this is put is because it starts offering rights of free men and putting protections in for the rights of like the church, and like it's almost a justice system, because before it was like the king can say, I don't like you, go to jail. And that was cool. This set up a system of you can't just do that. You can't, as the king, you can't just imprison someone. They have to have fair representation. It wasn't that fair. It was still pretty like the king's like, I accuse you of this. You go to trial, and the king's probably going to win.
So is this the start of the court system?
Yes.
Okay, so courts didn't really exist before this.
Well, no, they existed, but it felt more like it was what the king said.
The will of the king, yeah.
It was the will of the king, as opposed to an actual like, all right, let's actually see what the issue is. This is
evidence and
that's sort of stuff. Just like, hey, did you actually do this? No, probably not that far, but
until proven guilty.
But like I said, once you start with that, hey, he's not automatically guilty because the king says we have to actually look into this. It obviously starts to like.
What a rigmarole, though. People would have been pissed. I've been like, fuck, we have to look into shit.
Yeah. The barons obviously wanted like them to stop taxing.
Are you sure you want to do this? This is going to be a lot of work.
He didn't have a choice. He's captured in London.
No, I know. But like, so this is going to be a lot of work looking into shit.
Yeah, it probably is. Yes. All right, so a council of 25 barons would be created to monitor and ensure John's future adherence to the charter. But neither one attempted to actually implement any of these agreements that they put in it. So even though we just talked about the fact that they were going to put a justice system in and make sure people weren't going to be illegally imprisoned, they didn't really set up anything. They just sort of went, you agree to do this? Yeah, okay. And just left it that way.
Yeah, I told you, because it's a lot of hassle.
It's a lot, no one actually did anything. The barons suspected that John was actually not accepting this deal ever, and was just, again, signed it to buy time. The charter compromised the Pope's rights, so the Pope's outraged. And he declared, and I got a quote here for you, not only shameful and demeaning, but illegal and unjust, and excommunicated all the barons. Excommunication was a big
seems
thing.
Seems like he liked John a lot in the end.
Yeah, he actually kind of gets on with him at the end, but the first bit wasn't so great. So he decided that he was going to isolate the barons, protect his own supply lines, and prevent the French from landing, because the French, again, are coming to invade. So he then started a campaign, and he took castles, and it was considered an extremely bloody battle. Another quote here, a siege so hard-pressed, he had never seen a siege as hard-pressed or as strongly resisted. So these guys, like, they fought to the death for this castle over the king's now coming back to take out all the barons that made him sign that document. All right. John split his forces, and the majority of his forces ended up being pinned down in London. He then had to fight the Scottish as well, who decided to ally themselves with the rebel cause. So the Scottish have now joined the rebels.
And this is when Braveheart is based.
No, this is not when Braveheart's based.
I've never seen that movie.
I have got Robert De Bruce on the list, though. That'd be very interesting if you haven't seen that movie. You won't know anything.
I I started to watch it once, but I just got bored. I think I fell asleep.
So the rebels, he's fighting against the rebels in the southeast of England and parts of the north. John's forced to retreat, and he's fighting a very much defensive war now. The rebels are on the march. But he decides that he's going to fight back the next year. But unfortunately, he dies of dysentery during an attack and is dead at the age of 50. Yes, just like his brother. So he gets dysentery at the age of 50 and dies.
It's pretty brutal. And such a common way to die. So, they wouldn't have even thought it was funny that somebody just shat themselves to death.
Yeah.
So common.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. So the barons were apparently planning to install the new king of France, who was Louis, Prince Louis of France, to be the new king. But
that's treasonous.
But when the king died and Henry III was put in place, we need another Henry in this story. That's what we're missing. A third Henry.
He's English?
Yes. No. So this is John's son.
Oh, okay.
The 9-year-old Henry III. The barons all decide to go on his side and throw Louis back out. So we can handle a 9-year-old kid.
Yeah. They'll be his consuls or whatever.
Yeah. They'll all help him out. He's got no family left. All his uncles and family are all fucking dead. He's got literally no family.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, just maybe 50% of the GDP of the country should go to me. That's what the people want. I think that's gonna be good for the kingdom.
I think they write after this. They start writing Magna Cartas almost every 10 years. They just start. It's like they start continuously evolving it.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's not there's a Magna Carta, but they update it. Every couple of years for the next. They're just continuously updating it, adding to it. Like I said, the English laws have been added to since then.
Yeah, just trying to put in stuff about climate change and that
so
sort
he
of stuff.
signed Henry III signed Magna Carta 2, and off we go. Back to him being king. And that's John's life. And he is really hated throughout history.
Sounds like it. But who's he hated by? Just by the British, the Scottish?
No,
Irish, French.
Historians would be the
Why
general
historians
argument.
Hate him? What skin do they have in the game?
Well, I think the thing is, I don't know, they were probably... Well, there's obviously a reason all these barons have, decided to rebel against him, and I assume he was not a good king.
He might have been a great bloke, though.
He might have been a great bloke, but he obviously wasn't a good king.
Surely you know someone who's, maybe a bit of an asshole, a bit of a liar, something like that, but you still like them. He could have been a pretty good bloke, but just a bad leader.
Yeah.
It's a guy on meth might be a good bloke, but he's probably not very good at leadership. He's probably not going to be able to run an IT division or something like that.
Probably not.
I think that was John. Misunderstood.
So eventually everyone starts, so when the historians start writing about him, they start writing about him being the bad guy. He's evil John. A story called Robin Hood starts where he's the sinister bad guy.
Oh, you mean the
Shakespeare does plays, and he's played as a villain. Yeah.
Yeah, not Dan Carlin.
No.
Dan Carlin's not I fucking hate this guy.
No,
this guy sucks.
no, it's more so as English history is built, it's sort of who's a good king, who's a bad king. His brother, he was such a good king, and, he fought crusades and was brave. And because remember, it's Richard the Lionheart, by the way. I don't think we mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah, he's Richard the Lionheart. So he's obviously brave and true.
Should we maybe do an ad read to finish it up?
We probably should do an ad read to finish it up. Anyone doesn't want to listen to you, they can leave now.
No,
the history part's done. The history part's done.
It's the best part of the show.
Is there any way to track like when people cut off their listening?
Probably. It's probably, yeah. In my opinion, it's the best part of the show.
All right, what do we got, Ron?
Okay, if you want to advertise with History Squirt, you can email us at historysquirt.podcast@gmail.com. Or if you want to hear about anything, any particular segment or story from history, email us there too. Email Jason some hate mail for saying that this isn't the best part of the show. In high-risk operations, unpredictability is the enemy. When objectives hinge on leverage, you need hostages you can trust. At Lossage Sausage Hostages, we deliver consistent, meat-based personnel for all your deception, deterrence, and misdirection needs. They're not actors, they're sausages. Real meat, local butchers, fully posable. Each unit is vacuum sealed from beef composite, heat sealed in civvies, and calibrated to mimic fear. Need motion? Add servo bundles. Need realism? Request wound piping and tear pods. And if the mission collapses, you can eat them. Try doing that with a civilian. Whether you're robbing a bank, overthrowing a regime, or staging a televised negotiation, Lossage gives you all the optics of human suffering with none of the legal blowback. Lossage Sausage Hostages. Tactical meat for tactical needs. Make the demands, feed the team. What did you think of that one?
What was that tongue twister again? Give me that tongue twister one more time.
Lossage Sausage Hostages.
And can I go back to the, have you got the needs there again? I just wanted to go through the, if you offered, if you need a hostage situation, what were the other two ones?
So if you're robbing a bank, overthrowing a regime, or staging a televised negotiation.
Okay, so the televised negotiation thing, what I don't understand.
So basically what this is real hostages sort of can't really be trusted. You know, they're fearful, they're going to run away. These are essentially sausages formed into the shape of a human, and you can kind of just hold them. You can use them as human shields. They're a sort of replacement for a hostage in a hostage situation, right?
Yeah, okay.
So, and I guess the benefit is, if worse comes to worse, you can eat them. Eating human flesh, a bit more difficult, tougher. These, delicious.
Yep. You'd have sex with them too. I just thought you want to bring that up.
You could. Be pretty rancid, but yeah, you could.
You could. There'd be lots of needs. So no. Back to my last thing. So a televised
negotiation. So you would have seen that in movies where they take over a television studio and they hold it ransom until they get their demands, whatever they are.
But surely the police are going to know that that's a giant sausage, not a person.
No, well, I mean, they sort of they cry and stuff, and they, you can make them move around. So, but you'd want to sort of shake it around so people couldn't really get a good fix on sort of what it was. It's really, it's probably better for where people are at a distance. So robbing a bank or something like that. You probably don't want people getting a really close look at one of these.
I would have
probably
thought these
fucking horrifying.
I thought you'd be selling these to people as trying to fake their own death and
you could use it for
pranks. Oh no, I'm about to run into this car. I'm going to just throw the meat thing out, splatter, pour a bit of your blood around so it looks like it. And it's hey, you got a free body double. It's you.
Oh, I'd love to see one of these fucking things thrown off a building. See it slap and
Let me
collapse
assure
on the
you,
concrete.
if I'm waving from the top of a building and then just jump off, you wouldn't be able to tell. By the time you hit the ground, the difference between mincemeat and your body would be pretty much the same thing.
I feel like there'd still be bones.
You could chuck a few bones in there, couldn't you?
These things don't have bones.
You can't make that an option?
Oh, I mean, they've got bones and cartilage in them.
No, but you could
but not all
you couldn't
together.
You couldn't just stick a bag of bones inside the stomach if requested.
Well, then you're getting into like so. I mean, I suppose what am I guess I could fill it with, like what an animal carcass.
Yeah.
It makes putting the skin on the sausage too difficult.
You could even give them like a bleeding pack so they could like get like a liter of their blood out and then like attach that to like the back of the neck, and then like as it hits the ground it explode. There'd be blood. They could take the DNA and be like, shit, it's his.
Yeah, so we have that sort of stuff. But yeah, bones. Bones are difficult. Yeah, hard to get the skin on when you got bones. Then we got to source bones as well. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know about bones.
Why don't you just try and like shape a deer into a like human shape?
Just fucking heat it up a bit and melt it like plate, like
put it in a mold.
Form it like Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? It'd be so fucking hairy.
You'd shave it, would you?
Not to mention, it doesn't have human hands or feet. Like they're so skinny.
Dude, wouldn't you just like
the legs?
I don't know, just spray it out, cut it up. Like I'm sure you could cut it in the right shape to like spread it out, and then pop it up with a bit of.
Couldn't I just? I guess it's not as cheap. But couldn't I just use something that was more similar, like a gorilla or a chimpanzee or something?
Do you reckon a gorilla's cheaper than a deer? I think gorillas go for good money.
No, I'm saying I'm saying I think cheapness would be the reason why I'd pick a deer, but I feel like it's much harder.
Well, what would be the best? Well, yeah, obviously some sort of monkey, but that's not going to like work out. We're going to get cheap monkeys that are like human size. Gorillas are going to be worth a fortune. Sell the gorilla. That should be your business move. In that case,
I'll just use humans, form humans into other humans.
It's just if you want a dead body, I'll get you one.
Yeah. That's where this idea is going. I'm just going to end up selling dead bodies. I guess they used to do that, in like the 1800s or something. Like they used to buy dead bodies.
Cadavers, yeah.
Yeah, the English doctors and that.
Yeah.
Did you know that there's kind of in that time period, the dole that they use for doing like CPR and you put your lips on the mouth and you breathe in and you compress the chest and that. So that dole, I'm sure that there's many, many models now, but when that dole was originally designed, it was designed off like the face and probably not the chest, but like the face was a cast of a girl that they pulled out of the Thames River, like a dead girl. Yes. She was like a 16-year-old girl, and it's
John Doe too, wasn't she?
Yeah, they didn't know who she was.
No idea who she was.
Yeah, can you imagine that? She just fucking died, and then they just no consent, just took this mold of her face and they used it to manufacture all these dolls. They call it like the most kissed lips ever or something.
Oh yeah.
It's so weird, but the 16-year-old girl, it's fucked up.
Dude, they did this. So there's a thing in World War II, right? It's an operation where what they decide to do is they're going to give the Germans this false information. So they basically wait for a guy to die. They find a homeless man that eventually dies. They grab him. They dress him in a uniform, give him a wallet, keys, ticket stubs and all that sort of stuff, and make it real, dress him in an officer's uniform, fly him over to Spain, throw him into the ocean so that the Germans would eventually find him, find all this false information and be fooled into where the invasion was coming. So you can't just take a random drunk guy, and just throw him into the fucking ocean, take him, just throw him on a plane, just fly him over there. What? No, they didn't kill him. They just took him from the morgue.
Yeah.
They just went, we finally found someone who's because they obviously needed someone who, they needed someone to consent, but obviously no one would consent to this. So they just waited till they found a homeless person.
That sounds like an idea that I would have for one of these ads. Think about a message in a bottle, but it's a human man. now we're going to put the message inside of him. They're like, can we not? Like, because I don't think they're going to look inside of him for this paper. You're like, yeah, we're just going to jam it up his ass.
Could you write messages on this meat man?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you could just carve into the sausage flesh.
Well, like
the
if I
problem
want,
is that think about a sausage though, the meat's gonna spill out the minute that you tear the flesh.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, could I just not order one of these things for a barbecue?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that's yeah. So I mean, you'd probably want to do like a spit roast for a barbecue, just because. I mean, they're big. Like you'd roast it like you'd roast a whole suckling pig.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine that? Like you invite like all these kids around and stuff, and you like all these families there. And you're like, and you know, then you unveil it, and it's just like this fucking sausage that looks like a man just roasting on a spit.
Does it come in a kid version? Does it come in like a 6-year-old size human meat man? Meat boy, some sort of
just
meat
for smaller parties.
Smaller
No, I
parties.
think that like if we're going back to the hostage situations,
Yeah.
obviously children are going to work well, but
Yeah.
the problem is that they're not as good for human shields because they obviously take up less surface area unless you have child soldiers. Then a child-sized hostage would work quite well.
What happens if I wanted to sacrifice? if I wanted to have a meat child to sacrifice to my god?
I think they're gonna know.
Yeah,
I
God,
don't think
no,
they're
that's
gonna.
right. Yeah, that's not gonna work.
I think you're just gonna anger them.
Just gonna piss them off. This is not a
think
real
so.
sacrifice at all.
Yeah, what the fuck?
This is some-
they turn it over. What the fuck? Fuck is this thing?
Yeah, I reckon that meat man could go. I reckon there'd be a lot of people needing some meat man. How much would a meat man cost, you reckon? What are we retailing at? It's a lot of meat. Meat's expensive.
Maybe 5,000.
5,000? Yeah, okay.
Does that sound reasonable?
I think that sounds fairly reasonable. Like,
Because you got to think we got distribution costs. I mean, they're going to be fairly heavy. We're going to have to sort of keep them refrigerated.
well, how much does a man weigh? How much does a man weigh? Right. So a man probably weighs what? Average man, 85
somewhere
kilos?
between 80, somewhere between 80 and like 120.
80 kilos, what? A kilo of mincemeat's how much? Maybe $9-10 bucks?
Let's say 100. I think 100 is going to be easy to do the maths on. It's about 10, no.
It's about $10. I'm going to say with $10.
10
we'll
bucks
keep
a
it
kilo?
easy.
Yeah.
$10 a kilo.
So $1,000.
Times 85. So I'm going to get
Let's
$850.
just do 100. Well, let's just do 100. So $1,000.
It's $1,000 in meat.
Yeah.
Then you obviously need a sculptor. You're going to need a person to sculpt this meat into the shape.
And the clothes for the meat.
Clothes for the meat. Obviously, extras cost extra. You know, if you want your bone bags, your blood things, your...
Yeah.
What other options?
Tear
You had
ducts.
some other weird options. Tear ducts. I don't know why you want them to cry. You want your meat to cry.
Yeah. Maybe a sort of voice box. Bit of movement.
It'll be also good when you bring the kids into the family barbecue and there's a person like cooking on the thing and they're also crying. That also adds to that. Like, oh, they're crying. They're in pain.
Because these things would be pretty like loose. So you could, I suppose, if you get the servo bundle, which is basically sort of makes it a bit mechanized and moves around, you could set it up like a like one of those wiggling airmen that's out the front of like the car lots. But it'd just be made of meat. It'd be like squelching. It'd be like as it's waving around.
Okay.
I think there's plenty of applications. I think
There's
it's a
plenty
great
of
idea.
applications for a meat man.
If you want to get on board, I think maybe we'll start a what's it called?
GoFundMe.
Yeah, something like that. Crowdsourcing.
I don't think it'd be that
We'll get
hard.
plenty of money from dictatorships.
No, I think slaves are cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, technically, a hostage is free.
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah, we would be focusing on dictators with sort of morals and ethics, and I suppose that's perhaps not what exists. So, although I suppose if we had some sort of like good rebel force, so think of like the rebels in Star Wars, right? Like rebels who are on the good side, and I'm sure that there's examples of those in history. Maybe that's who we're targeting here.
And you think they're taking a lot of hostages?
Yeah, it's not a good look, is it? Child hostages. You're trying to represent your cause well. It's not a good look.
What are you gonna? No, hostages are free, but I'd eat them. I'd use them as body doubles. I want to fake my own murder. How do we skip over that too quickly? Like faking your own death. Like there's so many people want to fake their own death.
Yeah,
there's insurance payouts and like all sorts of shit.
Put them in the seat at your work or on a Zoom call or something.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone can tell the difference between you and a sausage man.
No, but I could be on this Zoom call, right? And then like, I don't know, you could just make the house fall on them and then just leave the meat man there, spray him with a bit of blood. We got the bones.
Yeah.
We're good to go. We are good to go. Meat man,
$4,999.
The other thing
that we could do is just make you in, like we could just grind you up into a sausage, and then it would just already contain your blood. Then we'll smash that. Yeah, meat
but
man.
Why would you make me into a sausage? Why wouldn't you just eat me as I am?
No, I meant for your death.
So you're gonna turn me into sausages to then reshape me into a human-shaped person, but I was already in a human shape before.
Lossage sausage hostages.
Could we get people to rent themselves when they're dead? Today. Could we get people to rent themselves when they're dead?
I suppose people might like that. In the same way you can get yourself made into a tree or something. Maybe they want to get their bodies made into a sausage. And then
no, they want to help. They want to help in hostage situations. They want to help in hostage situations.
Oh.
So they're volunteering themselves to be cadavers for a good cause.
That's not bad. It's not bad.
And maybe they just want to have one last hurrah, be involved in, some people live very boring lives, to know that after you died, you're involved in a televised bank heist would be like a huge, you'd be remembered. You
would be, assuming that we make the one person into a sausage and it's not just parts of a bunch of different people.
I don't know why you keep... I don't know why you need to keep turning everyone into sausages. Can't you just leave them as they are? They're human-shaped already. You just want to turn everything into sausages.
Yes.
All right.
All life forms shall become sausage. All right, let's leave it there. History Squirt.